is Payton Felix, and I'm with Shaw Local. Today I'm sitting down with Chris Bishop, who is running for a seat on the Dixon City Council. So Chris, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your experience on the council?
Absolutely, Payton. Thank you.
All right.
A little about me. City Council, I've been on there for 6 years now. Well, I guess at the end of the term here in April will be 6 years. So my first 2 years were the first council that came in under our current form of government, which is the manager form.
Okay.
So I spent the first 2 years there. Then I took some time off. I did not run in that election cycle, and then came back. And then now I'm finishing up my 4 years there. I'm a teacher here in town, so been part of the community since basically I came back from college. So that would have been 2009, 2010. So spent a lot of time here and love this place. So it's great to get involved.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So getting into a little bit of the harder questions.
Sure.
What would you say are the top 3 issues facing the city currently? And then if you could only pick one, what would it be and how would you address it?
Well, I'll make sure I get my 3. So the first one, because it comes right to mind, is there's going to be some folks that are on the admin team at the city that are going to retire during this next 4 years. And while the team and the city has done a great job preparing everybody for the next step, whenever you have some of the leadership leave, I think the big thing is making sure that everybody understands what the role is moving forward and try to get people in place that can really push the ball forward. Because we've had, the last decade has really pushed forward in Dixon. So we want to see that momentum continue. So that's my number one. So one issue plus my biggest one, right? For me is you got to keep everything rolling in the right direction. We want this momentum to keep lasting. And the folks that are retiring are phenomenal. And the people behind them are going to be as well. It's just making sure we get support and get them in there and put them in a good position. Another big one for us is going to be the 65 acres that's behind Walmart that the city purchased. Just bringing in development there. We've done a nice job on 88 and getting things filled up with the developer, but making sure we're able to do that is going to be the next big target for us because, you buy that land, you want to see it develop into. So I would say the second thing is going to be the 65 acres behind Walmart. We've done a nice job developing I-88 and that corridor that we have out there so far, and then just to keep that momentum going on the other side and bring in some things that we see that could bring value to the city and really see who is interested in there. So that's going to be I would say number 2 on the list. Let's make sure we get the right partnerships to come in there and start being part of the community. And then the bridge, right? The walking bridge down here and Viaduct Point, that as a whole, you're going to see a lot of change. This next year, we're going to see a lot of change with that bridge coming over. If people aren't watching it already, that would be an exciting thing. I mean, for myself, even just going down there every week and checking out what progress is going to be and exciting to have the new pathways in Page Park. That's going to be a big thing. But just staying on top of that project, making sure everything is going right, which we have great people in place to do so. But then the Viaduct Point, the rest of it, what's going to go in there, which we've got a vision for that. It's just following it through and making sure that things are happening on the timeline that we need them to. And then also seeing, what development might happen down there and who wants to partner down there. So, those I think are the big 3 that are probably coming at us right now in this next 4 years. So excited to be a part of it, hopefully.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of changes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So another issue that kind of gets brought up a lot just in the community is a lack of housing, kind of just in general.
Right.
So going into this next term, how do you plan on kind of improving that?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of developments that are obviously happening right now. The one over in Washington Park is going on, so that's going to continue, and that's further along. And then we've got one on the south side that Ted Havar is working on too, so that's kicking off. And then part of that 65 acres possibly being some sort of housing in there. There's been thrown back and forth on what that would be, but to your point, we obviously know that's something that we need in the area, so we're trying to find ways to bring that in. We also have our development team, been some conferences and things, and looking at even maybe some sort of rehab that would happen in parts of the town. So yeah, housing's a big issue that we're going to tackle, and we're making our way. It's just kind of keeping an eye on the ball, if you will.
Yeah. Sounds like a couple of little pieces coming together.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's the big part. And it's being on the council. There's a lot of stressful things and things that are like, it's harder than maybe you think. But there's a lot of enjoyable things too. To watch the community really come together for some of these things, and you get to see the community start to grow some more. It's really fun. It's fun to be a part of those things and make those decisions, even when they're hard. You're planning for the future, and it's great. I mean, I've got 2 kids in this community. My parents live in this community, so there's a big connection. If I can help that out, I'm happy to. Yeah.
Speaking of the community, how do you plan on engaging them kind of in what's going on with the government?
You know what I'd love to see, and we do, depending on what's going on for meetings. People come to council meetings. It's open. We want you there. The COVID part is, kind of gone away, so we want people to come back in the building. And Facebook is really nice. I mean, even before COVID happened, one of the big pushes that we were talking about is how do we get this online so people can see? Because not everybody can make it. Yeah. So to me, that's a great place to be. I try to, when people email, get back to them and try to reach back out to them. If somebody reaches out to me, calls, that's the big thing. And the other part is being out in the community. I'm very fortunate, 1, being a school teacher, so I get to see the kids. 2, my kids being in sports. And 3, just if you're around and you're at events, you start talking to people. And people are going to tell you their opinions. And it's important, right? Because I'm a representative of them. So I think it's important to spend that time around everybody and welcome them in. We have to have uncomfortable conversations as city council. That's a part of the job, and that's what you sign up for. And so we want those folks to come in. We want people to come in when they're happy too, and tell us, hey, this is going well, and they usually do. So it's just, they are welcome to be there in an open meeting, and I want people to come to the meetings when they're available and they want to, and watch on Facebook. So the engagement really is you're welcome to come in, and please get a hold of us if you have questions or if you want to contact us. So, yeah.
Well, this last one's a fun one.
All right. They've all been fun.
What is something that people would be surprised to know about you?
What would somebody... I'm probably a little bit more personal than I've probably seen when I'm sitting up there in the council, just because I'm shorter and probably briefer. So, I actually really love people, and I enjoy being out in our community. And so, even though I might be short when we're sitting up there, I'm happy to have conversations with folks. So I really appreciate everything that I have the ability to do by just living here in Dixon and being involved in the city. So.
Well, that's great. In the position you're in, you need to talk to people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and sometimes you have to, like I said, have fun conversations that aren't great, but they need to be had. So, yeah.
Definitely. All right.
Well, thanks, Payton. I appreciate it.
Well, that was great. Thank you.